Let's speak now to Michael Mandel. He's a professor of international law, and he joins us from Toronto. Professor, many thanks for your time. The UN Human Rights Council, as I've just been saying, strongly condemned Israel's actions in Gaza. The Israelis, on the other hand, say they're acting in self-defense. How much of a legal argument do they have?
Zero. They have zero legal argument for self-defense. As a matter of fact, it's Hamas that has the right to self-defense here. The basic principle here is that an aggressor has no right to self-defense. This was established at Nuremberg. And Israel has been committing an aggression against the Palestinian people now for 41 years, and that's namely the occupation. And the occupation, which has been condemned by every institution with jurisdiction over international law, including unanimously the World Court, the International Court of Justice, and the Security Council, especially with respect to the annexation of Jerusalem, that this occupation, which is not for self-defense purposes, but for colonization purposes, Israel wants the Palestinians' land, that it's an illegal occupation and it's an aggression. Now, what we've seen from Hamas and what we've seen from the Palestinian people is a very modest, means of resistance against this aggression. An aggressor can't take the resistance of the people that is aggressed against as an excuse and then claim self-defense to suppress that aggression. I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. There's a question of proportionality. Can Israel actually kill 1,000 people to protect against the threat from mortars and rockets, which didn't kill or injure anybody
so Professor
in the last
Mandel,
6 months before this attack?
Then from this argument, can we conclude that Israel has been committing war crimes?
It commits what the Nuremberg Tribunal called the supreme international crime of a war of aggression. All the other ones, are sort of lesser evils within that big crime. Israel's responsible for every death as if it committed a murder intentionally. The aggressor is responsible for all. There's no such thing as collateral damage when you're talking about an aggression. And that was established. And Israel's aggression, I think, is quite clear. Even notwithstanding the withdrawal from Gaza, as you know, Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem are one single territorial unit. That was what the Oslo Accords declared. And it's because it's one single people. And people is entitled to resist aggression. And the aggressors,
Israelis will say,
yes, sorry.
Professor, if I may, because we are running out of time.
Yes, of course. Sorry.
Israelis, of course, will say
yes,
that Hamas has been firing rockets onto their southern cities. As an international lawyer, do you equate between Hamas missiles and Israeli bombs?
As a human being, I don't think anybody can. In other words, we have to know who is the aggressor and who is the victim. We can't forget an occupation that has gone on for 41 years, condemned by institutions of international law. It's a war crime against the Geneva Convention to colonize an occupied territory, and that's what Israel's been doing. So it's the cart before the horse, or it's upside down, it's backwards, it's the exact opposite. Israel is the aggressor, Hamas is defending. Every death, horrible death caused in Gaza by these bombardments is equivalent to murder.
So just briefly, what needs to happen to make sure this doesn't take place again in the future?
Well, I think the world's media have to report the truth of this, and we have to know who's the aggressor. We have to stop artificially separating Gaza from the West Bank, and we have to stop giving Israel a free pass. We have to say that, a member of the United Nations who ignores Security Council resolutions is an international outlaw. I mean, what more can we say? Israel has the protection of the world's superpower. We have to appeal to people, the people of the world, to reject this and demand a stop to this massacre, and B, an end to this occupation and respect for the Palestinians' rights under international law.
Michael Mandel, Professor of International Law, joining us from Toronto. Many thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you.